Welcome to Easy Language Routine. Today, we look at history. We look at an official and important place. This place is Göbeklitepe. Göbeklitepe is a historical area. It is in Turkey. It is an archaeological site. Please listen carefully, read the words, and practice your English. Göbeklitepe, the first temple of the world. Chapter 1, the location and the geography. Göbeklitepe is in Asia. It is in the country of Turkey. Specifically, it is in the southeast part of Turkey. There is a famous city near this area. The name of the city is Sanliurfa. People call this city Urfa too. Göbeklitepe is near the city center. It is about 15 kilometers away from the city. The location is on a hill. A hill is a small mountain. This hill is high. From the hill, you can see a big view. You can see fields, grass, and land. The land is very old. History is everywhere here. The weather in this location changes. In the summer, the weather is very hot. The sun is bright in the sky. There is no rain in July and August. In the winter, the weather is very cold. Sometimes there is rain, and sometimes there is snow. The wind on the hill is strong. Long ago, the geography is different. Thousands of years ago, there are many trees. There are many wild animals. There is water near the hill. It is a good place for ancient people. Today, it is dry, but it is still beautiful and very quiet. Chapter 2, the official discovery. For many centuries, nobody knows about Göbeklitepe. It is a secret under the ground. Local farmers live near the hill. They see some stones, but they do not know the history. They think the stones are normal rocks. They clean the land for agriculture. In the year 1963, some archaeologists visit the hill. They are from America and Turkey. They look at the surface. They find some small stones and tools. They write an official report. But they do not dig. They do not start an excavation. They leave the hill. In the year 1994, everything changes. A German archaeologist comes to Sanliurfa. His name is Klaus Schmidt. He is a professional scientist. He works for the German Archaeological Institute. He reads the old report from 1963. He is curious. He wants to see the hill with his own eyes. Klaus Schmidt walks up the hill. He looks at the ground carefully. He finds many small tools made of flintstone. Flintstone is a hard stone. Ancient people use it for sharp tools. Klaus Schmidt looks at the top of the hill. He sees the tops of big limestone pillars. He thinks, this place is not a normal hill. This is an artificial hill. Humans made this place. In the year 1995, the official excavation starts. The Ministry of Culture and Tourism of Turkey gives permission. Klaus Schmidt and Turkish archaeologists work together. They use big tools and small brushes. They remove the soil slowly. Every day, they find new things. They discover a historical treasure. Klaus Schmidt works at Göbeklitepe for 20 years. He loves this place. Chapter 3: The Amazing Age of Göbeklitepe. Why is Göbeklitepe famous? Why is it in history books? Because it is very, very old. It is a big surprise for all scientists in the world. Göbeklitepe is about 12,000 years old. Let us understand this number. The Egyptian pyramids are very famous. They are about 4,500 years old. Göbeklitepe is older than the pyramids. Stonehenge is a famous historical place in England. It is about 5,000 years old. Göbeklitepe is older than Stonehenge. Before the discovery of Göbeklitepe, historians think different things. They think old humans are simple hunter-gatherers. They think these humans do not build big things. They think humans build big structures only after agriculture. Agriculture means farming and growing wheat. But Göbeklitepe changes the rules of history. 12,000 years ago, there is no agriculture. There are no cities. There are no countries. There are no metal tools. Humans only hunt wild animals and collect wild plants. But these simple humans build a massive temple. They build a magnificent place. This means religion and temples come before agriculture. This is an official change in human history. Chapter 4: The Architecture and the Big Circles. The architecture of Göbeklitepe is unique. It is beautiful and complex. When you look at the site from above, you see large circles. Archaeologists find many circles under the ground. Today, visitors can see 4 big circles. Scientists call them Layer 3. Each circle is like a room, but there is no roof. The walls of the circles are made of stone and mud. The diameter of the circles is about 10 to 30 meters. Inside these walls, there are big pillars. The pillars stand in a specific order. Around the circle, there are 10 or 12 pillars. They are part of the wall. In the center of each circle, there are 2 big pillars. These 2 center pillars are the most important part of the architecture. They face each other. They look like twins. The floor of the circles is special too. It is smooth and clean. It is made of lime terrazzo. Ancient people clean this floor every day. The architecture shows that many people work here together. One person cannot make this circle. 100 people must work together for months. It is an example of teamwork in ancient times. Chapter 5: The T-shaped pillars. Let us look at the pillars. The pillars are the symbol of Göbeklitepe. They look like a capital letter T. Scientists call them T-shaped pillars. These pillars are very big. The pillars in the walls are about 3 meters tall. The 2 pillars in the center are much bigger. They are about 5.5 meters tall. That is higher than a house. The pillars are also very heavy. One normal pillar weighs about 10 tons. The big center pillars weigh up to 20 tons. 20 tons is the weight for big elephants. Remember, 12,000 years ago, there are no trucks. There are no wheels. There are no iron tools. There are no horses or oxen to pull heavy things. How do ancient people move a 20-ton stone? First, they go to a stone quarry. The quarry is near the hill. They find a large limestone rock. They use flintstone tools. They hit the rock for days and weeks. They cut the T-shape out of the rock. Then, they carry the stone to the hill. They use thick ropes and wooden rollers. Hundreds of people pull the ropes. It is difficult and dangerous work. Finally, they put the pillar inside the circle. It is a brilliant engineering success. Chapter 6: The Animal Carvings. When you look at the T-shaped pillars, you see beautiful art. Ancient people are not just builders. They are also talented artists. They carve figures on the stones. A carving is a picture made in stone. Most of the carvings are wild animals. These animals lived near the hill 12,000 years ago. There are many types of animals on the pillars. We see dangerous animals, powerful animals, and small insects. One famous carving is a fox. The fox is on many pillars. It has a long tail and sharp teeth. We also see big wild boars. A wild boar is a dangerous wild pig. The boars on the stones look angry. They have large, sharp teeth. There are also dangerous cats, like leopards and lions. They have strong bodies. On some pillars, there are bears and wild bulls. The bulls have long, curved horns. We also see birds. The most common bird at Göbeklitepe is the vulture. A vulture is a very large bird with big wings. In ancient times, vultures are symbols of death or life after death. There are also water birds, like ducks and cranes. Finally, there are small, creepy animals. There are many snakes on the pillars. The snakes crawl up or down the stone. There are also scorpions and spiders with many legs. All these animals are wild. There are no sheep, no cows, and no dogs on the pillars. This means ancient people do not control animals yet. They only watch them in nature. Chapter 7: The Mysterious Symbols. The pillars have more than just animal pictures. They also have abstract symbols. Abstract symbols are shapes like letters, lines, or circles. These symbols are a big mystery for modern scientists. On some pillars, we see the letter H. It looks exactly like the English letter H, but it is 12,000 years old. Sometimes, the letter H is inside a circle. On other pillars, we see an I shape. Scientists ask, what do these letters mean? They are not an alphabet because writing does not exist in this era. Writing starts thousands of years later in Mesopotamia. We also see celestial symbols. Celestial means related to the sky and space. There are carvings of a crescent moon and a star next to it. Some scientists think Göbeklitepe is an ancient observatory. An observatory is a place to look at the stars, the sun, and the moon. Maybe ancient people watched the night sky from the hill. There are also strange patterns. We see net patterns, zigzag lines, and parallel lines. They look like woven baskets or clothes. The most interesting part is the pillars themselves. The T-shaped pillars are not just stones. They represent human bodies. The top of their T is the human head. The long part of their T is the human body. If you look closely, you can see arms and hands carved on the sides of the pillars. The hands meet on the stomach. They wear belts with fox pelts. But these stone humans do not have eyes, noses, or mouths. They are faceless statues. They represent gods, ancestors, or powerful spirits. Chapter 8: The Daily Life of the Builders. Who are the people of Göbeklitepe? How do they live every day? They are hunter-gatherers. This is the official term for humans before agriculture. Their life is simple but hard. Every morning, they wake up with the sun. They do not have shops or supermarkets. If they want food, they must find it. The men go into the forest or fields with stone spears. They hunt wild gazelles, wild sheep, and deer. Gazelles are very common near the hill. Archaeologists find thousands of gazelle bones at the site. The women and children look for wild plants. They gather wild wheat, barley, nuts, and sweet berries. They do not plant seeds in the ground. They only collect what nature gives them. They do not live in stone houses. They live in small tents made of animal skins and tree branches. They move from one place to another to find food. But for Göbeklitepe, they stop. Hundreds of hunter-gatherers come to this hill together. They live on the hill for weeks or months. How do they feed so many workers? This is a masterpiece of organization. They cook huge meals. They roast meat from many wild animals. They use large stone bowls to mix wild grains. Göbeklitepe is a place of big feasts and celebrations. People meet here, eat together, share stories, and pray to their gods. Chapter 9: The Great Mystery, the Burial of the Site. The biggest secret of Göbeklitepe is its end. How does the history of this place finish? Usually, old cities or temples become ruins because of wars, earthquakes, or fires. Nature covers them with dust over thousands of years. But Göbeklitepe is different. Around 10,000 years ago, people stopped using the temple. They do not just walk away. They make a surprising decision. They decide to hide the temple forever. Hundreds of people gather on the hill. They bring buckets of clean soil, small rocks, and old animal bones from the fields. They pour the soil inside the big circles. They cover the T-shaped pillars completely. They work for weeks to bury the structure. They create a big, artificial hill. They turn a holy place into a mountain of dust. Why do they bury Göbeklitepe? Scientists do not have a certain answer. There are many theories. One theory says their religion changed. Maybe they have new gods, and they want to forget the old gods. Another theory says the temple finished its job. Maybe a temple has a life cycle, like a human. When it dies, people bury it in the ground. Because they buried it so carefully, the pillars do not break. The weather and wind do not destroy the animal carvings. The soil protects the history for 10,000 years, until Klaus Schmidt finds it. The burial is a sad end for ancient people, but it is a wonderful gift for modern history. Chapter 10, Göbeklitepe today and its importance. Today, Göbeklitepe is a very important place for the whole world. It is an official UNESCO World Heritage Site. This means it is a treasure for all humanity, not just for one country. The government of Turkey protects this area carefully. There is a huge, modern roof over the excavation site. This roof protects the ancient stones from hot sun, heavy rain, and strong winds. Thousands of tourists visit the hill every year. They walk on a special wooden path around the circles. They look down and feel the magic of history. There is also a beautiful museum in Sanliurfa. In the museum, you can see the real tools, small statues, and animal figures from the excavation. You can see a life-size copy of the big center pillars. Göbeklitepe is important because it shows the power of human mind and teamwork. 12,000 years ago, humans are not primitive or stupid. They are clever, organized, and artistic. They have deep thoughts about life, death, and space. Our lesson about Göbeklitepe finishes here. We learned about its location, its discovery by Klaus Schmidt, its giant T-shaped pillars, its wild animal carvings, and its mysterious burial. This place is truly the 0 point of human history. Thank you for listening to Easy Language Routine. Practice your English every day. Read this text again and memorize the new words. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments, which animal carving is your favorite? See you in the next lesson.